Hi, it's Hugh here. Alignment and effectiveness vary wildly between countries. So which country do you think gets this most right? I'll bet you a fine red wine that your guess is wrong. Mine certainly was. We looked for extreme differences between respondents from the 5 main countries who responded to the 500-odd person study. We didn't delve as deeply here as we did in other areas of the survey, so don't take our findings too seriously, but it is a bit of fun. That said, the Canadians were our performance poster child in this report, so let's let them enjoy the moment. If you've listened to some of my recent blogs, you know that in 2005 we published the first of our landmark reports into alignment, and then what we learned has shaped much of the debate on the topic of alignment ever since. And in 2014 we published the 2013 refresh of that landmark alignment research, and what we learned about training and process and automation and structure and tactics and demand generation, measurement and location is really going to get that debate started all over again. Now in this blog I'm going to focus on just one chapter from that report. Chapter 10 looks at the regional differences in alignment and closure rates at various stages in the buyer's journey. I'll also show you how to get the whole report for free at the end of this video. Canadians are deeply concerned about alignment, but seem to be the best at it. Is there a link? The Canadians enjoy a 21% higher closure rate for MQLs than the Americans. In fact, let's take a look at the Canadian success now. With a 21% higher closure rate for MQLs, let's unpack that. What's the probability of a lead generated by marketing closing? For the Canadians, it was 21% higher than it was for their US counterparts. And sales is 48% more likely to accept a lead from marketing than is the case in America. That results in the highest proportion of revenue coming from marketing in Canada. Also the best retention by a mile, and that's why they're our poster child. How wonderfully ironic that the music that I happened to be listening to when I scripted this blog was "Where in the World Are You?" But yet the band is Great Lake Swimmers from, wait for it, Canada. Americans are 32% better at closing than Belgians, but 39% behind their Australian marketing counterparts at generating quality leads, that is, leads that close. The Brits have the highest confidence in their sales and marketing teams out of all the countries surveyed. But that may not be totally justified because they have low closure rates at nearly every stage in the funnel. They nonetheless manage to have the highest focus on new business out of all the major countries represented in the study. Confident and focused, not quite delivering at the moment. Now, Belgians aren't great at closing, but they maintain a steady, consistent performance through the funnel with no real weak spots at any point in their funnel compared to the average, other than a low proportion of their revenue coming from new business, and that's a problem. So I know the question you really need to have answered is, how do the Australians go? And you know I'm an Australian, so you probably want to know how my marketing brethren went down under. Well, in a moment or two I'll show you how to get a full copy of the alignment report, but first I'm going to do two things. I'm going to tell you how the Aussies went, and I'm going to invite you to receive more blogs like this. Let's get to that conclusion that I know you're just dying to know the answer to. How did the Australians go with alignment? Well, the Australians are great at starting conversations, you might call that marketing, with the highest MQL closure rates of all countries measured. 28% for MQLs, and also the highest SQL closure rates at 41%. Again, let me just unpack that. So the probability of a lead generated by an Australian B2B marketing company was 28%. The probability of a sales qualified lead closing was 41%. Both of those rates were higher than other countries measured. In the case of MQLs, more markedly higher than was the case for SQL closure rates. But marketing contributes 147% less of the total revenue enjoyed by the businesses surveyed than was the case for the Canadian businesses. That suggests to me an opportunity to push much harder. If I was negotiating for budget, I'd say to get funded better, but let's just say we have some work to do. Well, if you enjoyed this blog, then make sure you subscribed to get either our blog, Funnel Vision comes out twice a week, or Funnel Vision Monthly, which is an editor's grab of the best articles from the previous month. Go to mathmarketing.com/blog and select one of those options now. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel to get updates. And if you already have, then please can I ask you to share the love with one of your colleagues. Grab the link mathmarketing.com/blog and forward that to a colleague and invite them to subscribe as you have. Okay, so here's how you get a copy of that alignment report for free. Go to mathmarketing.com/alignment and there we'll show you how to access the 2014 report or a webinar that I did with Key Conclusions, or a more recent webinar that my partner Brett Bonser did with one of our funnel coaches from the US, Charles Pasondi. Or you can have a massive feast and enjoy all of them. If you'd like to see if Math Marketing's go-to-market planning workshops, known as Funnel Camp and Funnel Mastery Workshop, would help your business to lift the performance of your sales and marketing systems, then why not speak to a funnel coach today? Contact details are on the website. And that, my dear friends, is the end of our run through the 2013 sales and marketing study that we published with Marketo. Next week, I'm going to go to blogs more traditional in the sense that we'll be talking about leadership subjects born from our various planning work around the world. But I wanted to give you a sense of or a taste of each of the key topics from our report. I hope by now you've got a copy of the report and that you've also got value out of listening to these blogs on key outtakes from that report. May your funnel be full and always flowing.